All right, so a little bit about these Korean bows. I've seen a lot of stuff online about Khatra. Some people saying that why do you need it? It's ineffective. What's the point? What's the use? I'm not going to argue with anybody, but I think if it's done correctly, it is useful, and it comes down to the physics of what's happening. So when you draw the string back, if you just let it go, it's still. So an object that's still, it's going to take energy to get moving. So the theory behind this is, and it seems to work, and I've actually chronographed it, and I got higher speed when I did Khatra correctly. And I'm not that good at it. I'm working on it. And there's different types of Khatra. The Korean bow is unique in this way. A lot of Asiatic bows look like this. Tartar bows, some Turkish bows, a lot of bows look like this. But what makes the Korean bow unique to me is its handle shape, and it's designed that way for a reason. You'll notice here, it's practically flush up here. Down here, it's sticking out. Now, there's a reason for that. And I think it is because of the type of Khatra that you're using with the Korean bow. If you watch these Korean archers shoot, again, this is with every form of archery. That is important. The bottom, the heart of the bottom of your thumb right there. But that handle is made specifically for that. It sits there, but that sets your hand forward a little bit. And the Koreans hold their bow. It's sitting like this, and they actually get this finger out of the way. They put it right up there like that. And they're shooting right off their thumb. But with this handle sticking out into your thumb, when you're at draw, it automatically, if you let it happen, the Korean's Khatra is a flip forward. Or some of them will put their hand around a little bit and just slightly pull, which they call torque, and it'll be a little bit to the side or a little bit under their arm. They'll torque it. But what it's doing, the whole point of it, the whole point of Khatra done correctly is when that string is still, you're at full draw, you have to do it right. But when you release, as soon as you release that, your Khatra begins right at the same time. And it is in motion, moving before that arrow passes. So you're assisting that string. You're actually assisting the arrow and getting the bow out of the way, so it's not having to go around the bow. And that I think that's, to me, that's the point of Khatra, is to get rid of the archer's paradox, to make that arrow fly straight, and to assist it. You can watch videos of Korean traditional archery from some of their shooting ranges. That's where they do the 140-meter long shot. They all do the same thing. They're all doing this. They're just letting the bow go, and it's a really consistent, really pretty form that they have. Long draw and letting it go. Japanese shooting the Yumi is totally different. That handle is more, not square, but it's more squared than rounded like most handles. And that's because the Japanese hold, for that type of Khatra that they do, which I think is really effective, And it's really brilliant the way they designed the Yumi. When the samurai during the feudal Japan, when the shoguns were running everything, and it was all the samurai class were the warrior class, and all the clans were, at war with either each other or fighting over land. The Yumi samurai's first weapon was the bow. That's a misconception that people think it's the katana. That came a little later. The katana was a secondary weapon. The samurai early on, 15th century, I guess, early 15th century, they were known as horse archers. I mean, their bow was their main weapon. The Yumi was their main weapon. When they run out of arrows, then they go to their katana. They carried two swords, another sword, a shorter sword. It was after all weapons were spent, then it came down to, what I guess they invented jiu-jitsu and grappling. That might have been Mongolian, I'm not sure. But that's your last resort. The last thing you want to do is have the enemy right up on you. I mean, if you're in a battle, this is what you use, obviously. Why am I going to let that guy come 3 feet from me, when your army can take those guys out at 100 yards. But the Yumi is made, I've only shot a Yumi a few times. Very, very different. It was very alien to me, but it made sense with the master that was teaching me at the time when I was taking Kyudo classes 20 years ago. You're more or less putting your hand here, wrapping around, and then as you draw, your hand twists, and then you let your finger go. So you'll notice when they're at full draw, their hand is like this, and that twist torques that bow around when they let go. And that bow gets out of the way and that arrow flies straight. Now, there's another element to the Yumi that's a brilliant design, and it has to do with the composition of the bow, the inside wood and the bamboo layering that they had hide glue or fish bladder glue, I think, that they used back then. But you'll notice this bow, the string is straight. It's right in the center of the bow, which is good. That's what you want with a Korean bow. I mean, that's what they're made, how they're made. With the Japanese bow, the string is offset to the right. And it's constructed in a way that it can take that, where your string, you actually tie it yourself. One knot goes on this side. I think red, they colored them. Red was always on top, white's on the bottom. But the knot's on the other side, so it's compensating for that torque of the string being on the other side. That's how I understand it. But you watch these Kyudo people do their martial art, and it's really beautiful when the bow is at full draw, because your handle is 3/4 of the way down. That's a lot of bow. I think they're the longest bow in the world. I know that. I think they're like 245 centimeters, like 7 feet, seven and a half feet. It's a huge bow. I mean, the first time I shot one, it was like, whoa. It was weird because you're holding. It just takes a lot to get used to, because when you're at full draw, your hand tilts, and all that limb comes back above you, and the shorter limb meets it. It's just very odd to be shooting like this and then have the bow do that. I don't know. I'm gonna get one someday and hopefully get good at it. But so the whole Khatra argument, I don't know. I think it's useful if it's done correctly. There's a guy online on YouTube that, if you're interested in this stuff, what's his channel? Bamboo Archery. Go to Bamboo Archery. I'll put a link in the description. I'm not sure where he's from. Somewhere in Asia, maybe South Asia. I'm not sure where he's from, but I think he makes his own bows as well. But he knows everything. I mean everything about Asian shooting. Manchu bows, Korean bows, Mongolian bows, Hankyu, Japanese bows, Yumis, knows it all. I mean, the guy's awesome. I love watching his stuff because it's so much really good information, and you learn a lot from watching him. He does a lot of tutorials on thumb ring, on proper release technique, and different thumb rings. He'll review different thumb rings. So I would guide you to that Bamboo Archery. I think he's really, really good at explaining what this art is.